Sometimes the world punishes the ones who do the right thing. And sometimes the real heroes are just kids. Not loud, not famous, not trained, just human. This is the story of one such kid. His name was Jalen Carter, 16 years old, quiet, kept to himself. He wasn't a star athlete or top of his class. He liked biology, hated gym, and mostly flew under the radar. No one expected him to become the center of a story that would make national headlines, for all the wrong reasons. It was a Tuesday morning. Gray skies, raining lightly. Students wandered into school half awake, dragging backpacks and brushing off sleep. Just another ordinary day. Jalen had arrived early. He had a test in second period and was reviewing notes between classes. At 8:17 a.m., the school PA system came on. Lockdown. This is not a drill. Lockdown immediately. That was all it said. A moment later, the first gunshot rang out, then screaming. Panic, chaos. Door slammed, students sprinted, teachers shouted, some kids froze, others ran. And Jalen was in the hallway. That's when he saw her. She was a freshman, alone. She stood frozen outside the science wing, too terrified to move. The shooter had just turned into the hallway behind her. He was moving fast, and the girl had seconds, maybe less. Jalen didn't think. He ran toward her, grabbed her arm, and pulled her into an empty science lab, locked the door, turned off the lights, told her to stay down and be quiet. They waited in silence. The footsteps came closer, and then passed. The shooter never saw them. Eventually, the school resource officer tackled the shooter near the cafeteria. The weapon had jammed. No one was killed, though 2 students were injured by flying glass. It could have been worse, much worse. Jalen didn't tell anyone what he had done. He just walked home that afternoon like nothing happened. But someone else told the story. The girl. Her name was Emily. She told the counselor, her parents, her teachers. And within hours, everyone knew. Jalen Carter had saved her life. The students called him a hero. Even a few teachers privately told him how brave he'd been. But 2 days later, he was called into the principal's office. They handed him a letter. 5-day suspension, it read. Why? Because he had left his assigned classroom area during an active shooter event. They told him he had violated protocol, that he had endangered 2 lives instead of 1, that while his intentions were understood, his actions had jeopardized safety procedure. No mention of the girl he saved, no recognition for his instinct, just a punishment for thinking on his feet. News spread quickly. Parents were outraged. Students protested. A local news outlet picked it up, and then national headlines. Teen suspended after saving. Classmate from shooter. Social media lit up. Ida justice for Jalen. Gaggies he saved. Her. Hero not hazard. The school issued a statement. They stood by their rules. That policy had to be applied consistently. That Jalen had meant well, but protocols were in place for a reason. No apology, no reconsideration. Jalen didn't fight back publicly. He didn't go live. He didn't rant online. But 1 month later, Emily did something no one expected. She stood at a school board meeting, small, nervous, voice trembling, and spoke. If Jalen hadn't pulled me into that room, I would have died in that hallway. He didn't break the rules. He saved me, and you punished him for it. The room went silent. Some board members looked away. Others shifted in their seats, but nothing changed. The suspension remained. Jalen went back to class, quiet, like always. But his story didn't disappear. Colleges heard. Journalists reached out. Even retired law enforcement officials praised him. A former police captain wrote, "This student showed more courage and judgment than most adults would under pressure." And still, Jalen said very little. But in one rare interview, he gave the only quote people remember. "I didn't think about rules. I just didn't want to watch someone die." Not all heroes wear uniforms. Some wear backpacks. They don't want attention. They just do the right thing, even if it costs them. And sometimes the world forgets how to say thank you. But stories like Jalen's remind us what courage really looks like.